I'm Satya from Multisensor Diagnostics, and we are here to change the culture of care monitoring and simplify healthcare. Today I'm here because of my mom, who's suffering from multiple chronic conditions, and she needs to measure her vitals every single day. And all the devices and the apps and technologies that's provided to her, it's not really helping her from not going to the hospital setting. And it's really painful for her as well as to me as a caregiver every single day, and let alone the cost that is associated with that. And so she's not alone. There's like 6 million patients with CHF and with 60 billion in annual cost. And and the mortality is really worse than cancer. Like people die within 10 years. And the current care options that she has is like standing on top of a weighing machine to measure her fluid accumulation. Or she has all these implantable devices, continuous monitoring devices, and nurse intervention who calls her and then annoys her every single day. Health plans are using all these devices today to measure and manage chronic care patients at home. And it has given significant improvements in cost savings. But again, only 10% of those people are using these devices, and there's no access. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to create access, and that's why we created MultiLab. It's a non-invasive tricorder style non-invasive device that can measure more than 10 health parameters in under a minute. So it's going to be cost effective. It's only $200, and it's as simple as or better than measuring your temperature at home, because it's fairly simple. It takes a few seconds, and we have shown to improve this compliance, and the cost savings are huge. So what MultiLab can measure today? It can measure temperature, blood pressure, ECG, heart function, lung function, and everything in under a minute. This is exactly the check engine light for humans that the futures has been looking for. And then the functionalities are more. We are doing more at Johns Hopkins University, and it's really hard to believe. But if you see here, this is our system or device, and then these are values you measure. And we have shown clinical significance at Johns Hopkins, and also we have published the data, and we have great organizations backing us, and prominent physicians part of it. In terms of the cost, it's one-time device cost and recurring technology costs, and we have an artificial intelligence system that's going to capture all these different aspects on a daily basis, and we'll compare the MultiLab data with the chronic care metrics, and then we can predict that. And in terms, we are getting great traction. We have fully engineered prototypes. We have won a lot of awards, and we're working with the FDA first to get our device 510K cleared, and we are hoping to launch next year and then go globally by 2025. In terms of competition, they cannot stack up to what all we can provide, but we are clinically proven, patent protected. We are focusing on chronic condition. It's one device and not like multiple devices. This is a great team. Without that, we cannot do. We have renowned cardiologists and pulmonologists who are part of our team. And simply what I really wanted to exchange here is we're not here to just complicate things. We want to simplify care, and I wanted to develop a device that my mom can measure, and millions of other moms who are out there can measure it daily. Thank you.
Excellent. Good job. All right, judges.
So where exactly are you in the regulatory process? I just saw have you started?
Yeah, we already started working. So the state of Maryland, they have something called MD PACE program. They identify specific startups or class 2 medical devices that are essential to healthcare. And then they provide the complete services in terms of starting from what is the device to all the way to getting the FDA clearance. So we have 6 FDA consultants who are dedicated to work for us, and we started the process now, and then hopefully in the next 6 months we should be able to get the clearance.
Can you tell us a little bit about the blood pressure probe? Because that's the one that's novel here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, we use pulse arrival time at this point. We have proprietary sensors and algorithms. So when David was talking this morning, when Tesla's multiple sensors are talking within the car, same way we have a specific technology where multiple sensors are talking with each other. So one sensor is capturing from the thumb. It says what's the heartbeat is, and then when the oxygen comes in, when it expands, and it sends the information to the other sensor, and then they all talk to each other, and we use an artificial neural network to predict the real blood pressure. So At this point, we have tested it as well, and we have shown it in the paper that was published.
I may have missed this. How is the data transmitted from the device? Is it transmitted directly into the cloud? Is it transmitted to to your iPhone, say?
Yeah, it basically to the iPhone or Android, whatever works. It just sends to Bluetooth, and then from there it sends to the cloud. Basically, from a patient's perspective, I don't want my mom to go sit next to a phone and then like do all these things. So basically, she has to put it in her mouth, hold it for a minute. It becomes a normal part of her routine, and it sends to the data. And we had a great meeting with AT&T last week during the South by Southwest, where they are planning to bring in their LTE technology into our device so that it can directly connect to the cloud without any phone in the middle.
And there's a call center or something at the back with nurses, that type of thing, who monitor the...
So at this point is the artificial intelligence system that's going to recognize, but ultimately, what is our ultimate goal is to, for example, for CHF patients or heart failure patients, doctors should believe that, okay, this data is perfect. I mean, all these different vitals, increase in blood pressure, decrease in pulse rate, and all those different aspects with the breathing pattern, that is a direct measure of pulmonary edema. Doctors should be ready to prescribe diuretics over the phone. That's the kind of impact we wanted to create, but today we're going to take one step at a time. We're going to have a nurse who's going to take a look at all these data and then send it, or at Hopkins, what we're planning to do is like we're going to work with the Heart Failure Bridge Clinic, and then they have nurses who are already doing this, but we're going to drastically reduce the time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How's capitalization for the company? What's capital required going to look like to get through approval and launch of live product?
So we are looking to raise $1.5 million now for taking all our fully engineered prototypes to commercial ready prototypes, and then maybe we'll need another $3 million to $4 million to actually launch. We have a great team, and Hopkins is helping us to get there where we want it to go. So.
Could you do a little bit deeper dive in terms of the COGS of the device, and if there's, how many of those are off-the-shelf products versus things that you would have?
So most of them are off-the-shelf products, but basically how the device is inside the mouth, and then where the sensors are, and how it's capturing, and all the algorithm that is talking to each other. That is what is proprietary about it. We have 2 patents on that, and basically the cost is going to be like $200 because, and it's going to be provided by health insurance. That's what we want. We don't want to put patients into a spot to buy something like this, but rather, if they want, it's going to be available on their CVS or Walgreens.
Can your technology be used to monitor blood pressure continuously?
Yes. So the main goal of this is to rapid medical assessment. We wanted to measure everything in few seconds.
I understand, but I was just wondering whether, I mean, you have this device, and I understand your business model. If your technology could non-invasively measure blood pressure continuously, you might want to just do that.
No, we can license that technology if we wanted, but it can non-invasively measure continuously. But it's not going to be part of this device, but rather we can license it or come up with another product that can continuously monitor that.